Well, in recent years, private security companies have stepped up to help fill the gaps because of the dwindling NOPD manpower.
Well, private security hasn't seen any regulatory reform in nearly 40 years. WDSU reporter Eli Brand looks at how new regulations could be coming to the growing industry and how a big role that it's having in keeping the Crescent City safe.
This is how the day starts for Pinnacle security guards stationed in the Garden District of New Orleans.
22, radio check.
These security professionals are just a few of the 250 security guards that patrol 5 different neighborhood security districts in the city, as well as work to keep certain business and government buildings safe under the Pinnacle badge.
Dispatch to Garden District Patrol.
Pinnacle also has a command desk that takes calls and dispatches guards to calls for service in their districts across the city. That desk operates 24/7. Security businesses like this all over New Orleans are helping fill a gap left open by dwindling police numbers in the Big Easy. At last count, the NOPD has just under 900 officers, even though experts say the department needs closer to 1,500 to operate efficiently.
It's more eyes, more ears out there.
Pinnacle CEO Chad Perez says because of those numbers,
This is all about patrol vehicles.
in his 10 years owning the company, their role has grown exponentially.
Security officers are being utilized in roles that were traditionally only filled by active duty and off-duty police officers. So security officers have had to step into that role a lot more in the last few years, and that's growing year over year.
Perez says he looks at companies like his as a supplement to the police. Security guards can't make arrests, don't have as many powers as police, but can help notify police of crimes, and most importantly to Perez, keep a presence in neighborhoods where police patrols may not be as heavy.
When the manpower was going down in cities for police officers, somebody's got to fill that gap. Residents have to get services somehow.
And those private patrols seem to be making a difference. When you look at the interactive crime map of New Orleans, you can see the multitude of calls for service represented by each of the icons on the screen. But when you zoom in and look at just the Garden District, where there is a private security patrol regularly, calls for service seem to be fewer and far in between.
And also the ability.
Security expert Mike Kahn, who works security details himself, is a retired NOPD captain. He says having been on both sides of the crime-fighting coin has shown him how much the relationship between police and private security has changed.
Law enforcement in the past didn't have a great relationship with private security because of the lack of training that private security had back then. Now they're increasing the standards for private security and making them more applicable in these instances where they're being used, and they're also dealing more with law enforcement in certain areas.
But private security does not come without some concerns. Some say the low requirements for training in the state for security officers, both armed and unarmed, lead to incidents like this shooting in August near the New Orleans Public Library on Loyola Avenue. Kia Simmons, who was the guard in the video, has been arrested and charged with attempted second-degree murder in that shooting. She had a gun after completing the only 16 hours of classroom training required and just 8 hours of firearm training needed to be certified as an armed security officer in the state of Louisiana. The shooting was just one of multiple security officer-involved shootings in 2023.
A private security company.
Carl Cezanne, executive secretary of the Louisiana State Board of Private Security Examiners, which certify and license security guards in the Pelican State, wants that to change. He says since he took charge in January of this year, his team has been working to beef up training requirements in the state for the first time since 1985.
We will never make private security law enforcement, nor is that our intention. Our intention is to be able to put things in statutes and rules so that private security has a mandate and that they're trained to an acceptable level so that as they backfill and augment law enforcement, they can do so successfully.
He wants closer to 24 classroom hours for new guards and around 24 more hours of firearms training. He's also looking to streamline training for tools security guards can use as deterrents. Cezanne says as of right now, security companies have to pay private trainers for courses to use things like tasers, mace, and handcuffs, and get that curriculum approved by his office before guards can legally use them in the state. He says creating streamlined, state-approved training will make it easier for security guards everywhere to get them.
Their role is primarily a deterrent from somebody who wants to do bad things, right? Whether it's in a governmental facility or a private business or just a citizen simply going from their car to their home.
I want to see that happen.
Perez says he is on board for that training and hopes it comes soon.
Police departments, I think, are going to have to figure out how to effectively police cities with less manpower. And the only way to do that is to start outsourcing some functions.
Reporting, Eli Brand, WDSU News.
Cezanne says private security leaders, state sheriffs, and city police chiefs will be a part of the training rehaul.
And he also says that he wants to start getting new regulations passed in the 2024 state legislative session this upcoming year.